everyone, my name is Andrea. I'm a yoga instructor and an herbalist, and today I'm here to show you how to take care of your back, especially if you've hurt it recently. So we're going to start down on our bellies. So come onto your mat all the way down and just find a nice resting pose. So you might have your chin to your hands, you might have the cheek to the floor, whatever feels comfortable. Lengthen out your spine. See if you can find nice space in between the vertebrae. And each breath in, breathe the belly into the floor. Each breath out, just find that length through the spine. Maybe gently push the hips into the ground. So you can stay here for just a few breaths. You can stay here for 5 minutes, 20 minutes, just depending on what's going on in your back. If you'd like to, you could walk those hands out in front of you, drop your head down, and then pull your shoulders back toward your body. This will give you a little more space in the spine as well. So stay here for, again, 5 breaths, maybe longer if you need it. The next step in this back series to help with upset backs is to take the elbows just underneath the shoulders. The forearms are onto the ground, and then lift your neck out of the collarbone area. Look out in front of you. This is Sphinx pose. It's a nice small back bend. Really good for opening up the chest. If this is too much for you, you can have those elbows walk out just a little bit further and be just a little baby back bend. You can have those hands even out quite a bit further and just lift the neck. So find what feels okay with your back today. Maybe if your back's feeling all right, you can edge those elbows a little bit closer to your ribs and then really lift the collarbones up, lifting the head and looking out in front of you. If you would like to add a little motion while you're doing Sphinx pose, you can do a little brain teaser. Bend the right leg and look over your left shoulder. See if you can peek at those toes. And then switch sides, bending the left leg, looking over the right shoulder. You can switch as you like. This just helps open up the chest a little bit more. And also doing cross-body motions is great for the brain. It's a little bonus. Okay, so from Sphinx pose, you can come back down. Take 2 breaths in your resting pose. Again, lengthening through the spine. And just gently pushing into the ground. From here, we're going to do a little bit of Cobra. So Cobra has the hands underneath the shoulders. You roll the shoulders back, look out in front of you, and then just lift the torso. Lift the back as much as your back's okay with. So it might just be a few centimeters, it might be a couple inches, it might be quite a bit. And then lower down. Move with your breath. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. If your back's feeling pretty good, you could even push through the hands a little and lift up just a bit more. Or if your back's okay, really push through those hands, lifting always up here. And lower back down. Now if that felt good for you, you can try it a little bit longer. You can push up, you can hold, you can use those hands to really lift up. Rolling the shoulders down the back, gaze is out in front of you or even up toward the ceiling. And then lower down when you're ready. So to counter that back bend, we're going to do a little rounding through the back. So we'll push through the hands, lift up, and come all the way back to child's pose. So for child's pose, especially if your back's hurting you, open up your knees nice and wide. Set the torso down between the legs. The head can go down to the mat. The hands can go out in front. Or if you'd like to rest just a little bit more, those hands can go by your sides. Three more breaths here. After that third breath, Bring your arms out in front, separate them shoulder width distance apart, look up toward the hands, and we're going to go to tabletop. So that's hands right underneath the shoulders, knees hip width distance apart. Legs are parallel. We're going to start by drawing the belly up toward the spine, and then round through the back, drop the head down, round through the shoulders. This is a nice arch in the back. This is cat pose. Really good for stretching the back, stretching the shoulders, stretching the neck. We'll counter that by dropping the belly down, look forward or up. This is opening your chest, shoulders, push down your back. This is cow pose, so it's good for opening up the chest, stretching the internal organs. Exhale, round through the spine, drop the head down, round through the shoulders. And inhale, drop the belly down, look forward or up. Move at your own pace with your breath. So these two poses are really great because it's stretching the front side of the body as well as the back side of the body. It's simultaneously crunching in the internal organs but then stretching them out. So it's giving good blood flow to the area, so it's good for digestion. It's good for getting just the blood flowing throughout the body. So if you just woke up, this is good to do. If you've been sitting at a desk all day, this is good to do. If you drove for a while, this is good to do. Or if you have a body, this is just good to do. So move with your breath. If you get bored of just cat and cow, you can always add more motion. You can move from side to side. You could circle the hips. You could flow from that child's pose up to a cobra or an up dog even. Being creative, doing what feels good for your body. From there, we'll come back to tabletop. We're going to take the right foot between the hands. So you'll bring that foot up in between the hands and then come up when you feel steady. So from here, you could stay just like so, or you could walk those right toes out just a little bit so that way you can lean forward and then bring the weight down between the legs. Scoop the arms up. Drawing the elbows toward each other. Gaze can be up into the air or out in front of you. So this is good for tight hips. So tight hips can make for tight backs. It's all connected. Okay, look down to the ground. Bring your hands to the ground. We'll bring the knee back underneath the body to our tabletop and switch sides. Left foot goes forward. Come up when you feel steady. Give yourself enough room if you want to. And then sink down between the legs. The knee stays over the ankle. If it goes way out over that, give yourself more space between the foot and the leg. Arms scoop up. Nice lift through the spine, arch back. Very nice. Look down to the ground and the hands can come down. We'll bring that leg back underneath the body. So from here we're going to do downward facing dog. It's another great stretch. Opens up the back side of the body and strengthens the front side. So we're going to tuck the toes back behind. Lift your hips up and push them back. And your head goes just about between the arms. And you try to lower the heels to the ground, but if that's not possible, that's okay. You can even pedal the feet a little bit. You could sway the hips from side to side. And of course, breathe. Look up to your hands, walk your feet up to forward fold. So for forward fold, the hands can be reaching for the toes. The hands can be on your shins. You can have a nice bend in the legs, especially if your back's hurting you tonight. And shake your head no. Just let go of tension from the neck. Nod your head yes. Good. So tight hamstrings can again pull on the back, making for back pain. Next breath in, come halfway up, flat back. Exhale, back down. Good. And then inhale, sweep the hands out and up. We'll come down up to standing, touching the palms at the top, maybe a little back bend if your back's okay with it. And then the hands come to heart center. Okay, so we're not going to do much from standing up today. We're going to actually come down onto the mat, onto our backs. The soles of the feet will remain on the mat. And from there we'll do a reclining figure 4 pose. So we're going to leave the left foot on the ground and then take the right ankle just above the left knee. Push that right knee away from you. So you could use your hand, you could push it away. This might feel good enough, especially if you're super tight through the hips. If that's not enough for you, you could reach the hands behind your left thigh and pull those legs in. Now flex both feet. That keeps the legs active. I like to use my right elbow to kind of help push that right knee away, really getting into the piriformis, a muscle that gets tight in the hips. And then from there, you have to find your stretch, so you can pull your legs in a little bit. You can take them off to the side a little or down. So just move slowly until you feel that intense stretch. You'll know when you find it. Once you find it, stay there for 5 breaths. And as you're breathing, just try to be here, be present. Part of yoga is movement with breath, but also helping the mind be a little bit more calm. So instead of thinking about what's next, what's on that to-do list, or what's already happened, just feel what you feel right here, right now. After that 5th breath, if you want to stay longer, you can stay longer. Or we'll switch sides. Let that left foot go down to the mat. You can shake out the right foot, that right leg, and then place the right sole onto the ground. We'll take the left ankle just above the right knee. Again, push that left knee away from you. Now on this side, it might be just enough to staying there. If not, you can lift up the right foot, grab behind the thigh, and then again pull in. Flex your feet. So it makes this stretch called figure 4 is if you extend that bottom leg up into the air. That's just an extra little stretch if you want to. Play around, see what feels better for you. Of course, on this side, find where your stretch is most intense. Once you find it, stay there and breathe. Where do you feel this stretch the most? How does it feel to have your hands behind the thighs if they're there? How does your head feel pressed against the mat? Just be present. Release the hand, set that foot down, uncross the left leg from the right, shake it out. Shake out both legs. Extend your arms up overhead, stretch from the fingers down to the toes, big full body stretch. A big breath in and then melt. Very good. One more time, we're going to visit our hamstrings again. So take both feet up into the air. Now if this is way too much for you today, you could have a couch or something right next to you and you could bend your legs and have those legs on the couch. So that's a good option here. The hands will go behind the thighs if they're straight up in the air. If you're really, really, really tight tonight, you could have those legs down. You could grab onto your pants. You could take a tie or a belt and just wrap it around the legs or around your feet so that we can lower those legs down and keep them straight from wherever you may be able to straighten them. Just feel that nice stretch through the hamstrings. Push the heels toward the sky. Nice deep breaths. This is a good chance to check in with your neck. If you notice that you can kind of see behind you, lift up your head, give yourself a little double chin, set the head back down, which aligns the skull with the spine. 2 more breaths. From here, we're going to go to Happy Baby, which is another hip opener, and it's really fun. So you can release the hands. We'll bend the legs enough that you can reach up and grab the soles of the feet. Now, if that's not available, grab onto your shins, or you can even grab onto your thighs. You could hold like so, or you can move Move any way that feels good for you. Maybe it's one leg extends way out and then the other leg extends way out. Maybe both feet go up in the air. Maybe you touch the feet together. Maybe you try to touch the toes to the head, whatever feels okay for you without causing any harm, of course. And after you're done being a happy baby, you can slide those legs down onto the ground. Now, if your back's really hurting you, I can recommend you put a blanket underneath your knees or a pillow under your knees, so that'll take some pressure off of your back. Now, that's also a really good choice if you're in bed. So, taking a little bit of that pressure off of the body, off of the back while you're sleeping is really good for you. So while you're in Savasana, those legs could be out long, or recommended, have a nice bend in the legs. Arms can go back out to your sides. And then from here, just make yourself feel comfortable. And close the eyes. And from here, just breathe, relax. You can stay here for 2 minutes. You can stay here for 5 minutes. You can stay here for 20 minutes. That is up to you. For here, the purposes of this video, we'll just be here for 5 deep breaths. And then from there, roll to your side. And slowly push yourself up. Taking your time, be careful. If it feels okay to cross the legs in front, cross them. If it feels better, have them out, totally fine. If it feels better to sit up on a pillow, that takes some pressure off the spine as well. Just take a moment to feel what you feel. Hands come to heart center, shoulders relax. And with the next deep breath in, give yourself lots of love. Exhale out some love to the world. And the light within me, there's the light within you. Namaste.